It has been a long while, so please forgive me if I don't remember exactly how to do this, but what? I realize that this video is going to be really long even after all the editing, but if anybody is like really willing to listen to me for the length of time that it's going to be, I really hope you guys enjoy it. This video is what the first year of college taught me. I have not filmed and posted a YouTube video in a good month. Solid month. And I'm in a habit of not saying sorry for being myself or just the conditions that my life is happening under. So I'm not going to say I'm sorry, but I will say that we did not get Wi-Fi back at this house until, I would say, maybe 2 weeks ago. There was no capability for me to do anything phone related or computer related. Anyway, I promised you guys on my Snapchat story that I was going to make a YouTube video about what the first year of college taught me. And granted, this was actually an assignment back in first semester. The teacher was a really, really great person in general. We adored her. And she had us do this assignment where we came up with 10 things that the first semester taught us. But, I like the assignment and all, but, like after the first year was over, I was like, a lot has happened. I have got to do a video about what the first full year taught me. And I gotta say, I'm not one, a bird just flew into the window. I'm not one to celebrate big like anniversaries and stuff, especially because all I've ever really seen with the average girl is celebrating dating a guy for like a year. So I'm not really that kind of girl at all, really. But I did celebrate a 1-year anniversary of starting at, the logo's over here, my job, Fusion. I have to work today, but I was called off. So I was like, yes, I'm going to film. So, aside from that 4-minute introduction of why I haven't filmed in a month, let's actually get this video started. And I don't have everything memorized, but I have them all written down on my phone right now. I also had a Word document that's also up here. Maybe I should check that too. First thing I put down was, in caps, read the textbook. I cannot stress enough how much I thought I could get away with not reading the assigned readings and actually do well on a pop quiz or a homework assignment every week like I could in high school and elementary school and middle school. No, you can't. You have to make time to do it. I really can't stress that enough. That's why it was in caps. I would yell, read the textbook if I could, but I have people still asleep in this house. Moving on to the second thing that I wrote down, people respond to a friendly face. And of course, I wrote that down just as a bit of a motivation that I really do like who I am as a person now, because I'm the kind of person that I'll see a line of people in front of me wherever I go, if I'm getting something like paid or I'm getting something to eat, and I'm the kind of person that will like make my eyes really wide and just be like, "Hi, how is your day going?" And I just love seeing the expression on people's face change when I do that. And, it's not just people that are working and you're the customer. And I learned that it happens at the college campus, because sometimes people are just like so stressed about an exam or a class or a relationship, and just someone being friendly is really what a lot of people need. So I like really wanted to be that, and I learned people respond to it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's thrown off. Like, who is this person? The third thing I wrote down, the freshman 15 is a myth. Lots of people think it's true, but I proved it wrong. Because when I started school last August, I was about 140 pounds. And then I decided to get my teeth fixed up, and I got Invisalign braces, which was quite an investment, but it was super worth it. However, with Invisalign, they have to be in your mouth to move your teeth for about 23 or so hours a day. And you're only supposed to take them out when you're eating or brushing your teeth. So if they're going to stay in for so long, snacking is not an option. And also, because they're in all the time, you're drinking water all the time. Because if you drank anything else, the trays would just get stained, like sweet tea or Mountain Dew, coffee, any of that stuff. So I can't drink any of that. So water, all the time. All the time. It's a good habit to have anyway. You shouldn't have to have braces to drink water all the time. It's good for you, and now I have no choice but to drink it. And then so those were two things that I did. And then the third thing I did was I gave up mayo, which really was not that hard considering I saw how many people get spicy mayo at my job. You don't know what spicy mayo is? It's a sriracha-based yum yum sauce. It's really, really popular with sushi. And I used to get it, sure. But despite the fact that I make the most perfect batch of spicy mayo that you have ever tasted, I had no problem giving it up because I don't see it as a necessity. And then the fourth thing I did was I swam every week of second semester. Of course, I went through this big, a bunch of physical injuries all in one night when winter break started. But I really wanted to get back in shape and better myself, or at least just get into some kind of schedule. So I started swimming every single week of second semester. And of course, I already swim for exercise because I was on the swim team in high school. But yeah, I swam every week. And then the last thing I did was very simple and a tiny bit of a promise I made to myself that I was only going to take the stairs when I went to school. And of course, I went to school every day. And I was at the university a good 5 hours at least, every day. Just even if I only had one class. And a lot of times when it was getting cold outside and I was taking the tunnels, I would have psychology labs on the 5th floor of some of the buildings. So you can only imagine me out of breath with weak knees going up 6.5 flights of stairs. And just doing that, it gets your heart rate going, and it's just a simple form of exercise that you can do so easily other than walking or sitting on your butt like the average college student. And 30 seconds of taking the stairs, even if it's going to the 2nd floor, can turn into 5 minutes or even 10 minutes if you do it every week. So yeah, those were the 5 things that I did to make the freshman 15 a lie. The only thing about that is I'm 129 pounds now. And while I don't put a physical label on myself with skinny or big or overweight or average, any of that stuff, I am thinner now than I was when I was 16. And it's a bit weird for me. People are very, very happy for me when I tell them that size 2 pants are too big for me now. And I'm really not kidding when I say that. And it kind of scares me a little bit. But I can get over it and I can be happy with how I look. So I'm pretty happy. I guess the closing thought to the freshman 15 is that you can make simple changes or life choices in your life and you'll go into your first year of college and you will be all right. Take the stairs. Now, the next thing I wrote down, I didn't necessarily act out myself, but I wrote down get involved in something. A lot of people that I befriended in the past year were always a part of something or upselling me about an activity or an event that was going on that I should really be a part of. And I hardly ever really went to anything because I was working all the time. But just seriously, get involved in something, a club, a fraternity. There was a radio station at my college, and I missed radio DJ training. Otherwise, I would have still been on the radio like I was for 2 years before school started. There's no excuse really to not say you're involved in anything. And I am standing by that statement that I really have no excuse for not being in anything. But it's definitely like something that's like very big when you start college, because it's almost like you automatically belong to something. You just relate to something super quickly. Number 5. I was very, very happy that I actually had this thought long enough to write it down. You don't have to go to every single party that you hear about. Otherwise, you're going to become that guy that I used to know in high school, where you're like Twitter famous with the only caption, "Is there no chill?" And text messages. Why do people always text me when I'm filming? Yeah, but seriously, you don't have to feel like you have to go to every single party that you hear about. Next thing I wrote down, get to know what you want for a future. I heard a long time ago that the average college student changes their major like 4 to 5 times. And I'm like, wow, like that's crazy. I knew what I wanted to do when I was a junior in high school, and I have not changed my major yet. I changed my minor like 7 times, but that's different. It's totally different. My mom likes to say to me that I don't have to have it all figured out, and while I would like to have a lot more figured out than I already do, I have a way better idea now than I did a year ago. But at least like at the beginning of the year, I was, thinking about all the different scenarios that I could be into. There were a lot of times that I would think about where I could see myself. And just thinking about that future is very, very important, especially now. Oh, the next one was just a simple little tip. It doesn't really take much explaining, but find time. Ugh. Find time to exercise and read. Not at the same time, though. Not at the same time. It's going to actually take your mind off of a lot of the schooling and possibly stress that you're feeling. And then reading, you don't even have to read the textbook if you don't want to for your reading time, but read something. Not a magazine, just read. Read a book, read the newspaper, read an article. It doesn't have to be your assigned reading, I promise you. Okay, I really like the last few that I'm going to say. I'm going to make them short and sweet. This is actually one of the most important things on the list, in my opinion. Don't go to any high school events. I cannot frickin' stress that enough. Don't go to the musicals and the plays. Don't go to the parties. Don't go to the football games. Don't go to anything. You have a diploma, you have a robe, possibly, that you can still fit into in your closet. You have got, hopefully, a new haircut and a whole new set of friends. Do not go back and try to rekindle the friendships that you thought you had. Because even though you're, like, I really hope you're at the top of your own food chain and you're not trying to be like everybody else, but even if you still are, just move on. You are going to make 10 times the memories you did in those 4 years. Don't go to any high school events. Don't relish the thought. Put some mustard on instead. That was supposed to be so clever, and it wasn't. The next one. There is no need for style. Though everybody does have their own style, there's no absolute need for it. There are lots of times that I saw people, stop, what are you doing? There were times that I would go to school and I would see people like on their longboards and stuff. I heard and saw tweets. Girls were like blowing bubbles to class, and there were some girls that were wearing heels, and there were some guys that were... It's not that people don't want style, it's that there's no absolute need for it. If you want to dress up, do it. And you'll definitely get praise for it, but know that like you're not making a statement at a campus. There's really no need to like be like the chic one. It's okay to just wear sweatpants and a sweatshirt. Oh, the last two are very much my personality, but I hope that they'll become part of you too. Participate in class and ask questions. The professor loves it when someone is actually willing to respond to like a question that they asked that they did not intend on being, what's the word? What's the word for a question that you don't want an answer to? Not a statement, but rhetorical. That's it. Thank you. University professors will ask questions and they do want an answer, but a lot of us don't want to be the weird one or the person who actually responds because, oh, it was a rhetorical question. No, it wasn't. It was an open-ended question, and they are so willing to hear what you have to say. And you should hear some of the stuff that college students say. Not even me. I'm the kind of person that doesn't know when to shut up. I don't usually have a very good choice of words, and if I do, I have to think about it so much. But a lot of other people, they are like so good at coming up with an answer so quickly. It's always the person that like makes the first move. I'm not talking about just like relationships or just putting an idea out there. But when a university professor asks the class a question and no one answers it, it takes one person to raise their hand. And after that, there'll be like 5 other people that will respond. And I love being that one. It makes you feel like really good as a person and kind of cool. But you're not cool to everybody else. You were cool, like, that was really neat that I had the guts to do that. I didn't know I had the guts to do that. Of course, I know it's like super hard for other people to be the first one, but me personally, I have like no problem doing that. And I really wish that I could like pass that gift on to other people. But that actual phrase leads me to my last point of what the first year of college taught me. And it's be yourself. Because there is no one else like you on this entire fucking planet. And this university is like a fresh new start. You can be anything you want. You could change your name. You can change your hair. You can change your makeup. You can change your style, not your height. You can be anything you want. And that is like so like scary but fun, like at the same time. Not exactly tips, but those are the tips that I learned from my first year of college. I really hope you guys enjoyed this week's video, and I really hope you like pick up some of the stuff that I'm putting down. So, in closing, I really hope that you guys are going to have a good summer and you're going to have an even better year for your first year of college. Bye, everyone.